Hello everyone, it's Doe from Doe's Junkie Journals, and I want to welcome all you ladies, and maybe there's a couple of gents, and I'm going to start right off by losing my voice. I want to share a new journal I've made, and it's an ARTYmaze digital kit. And it's called Gothic Glam, and it's got some really interesting parts to it. I think you'll enjoy it. And this very pretty lady is part of the kit, and I've put her here on the cover, and I tied it with a seam binding, and I have to be kind of careful so it doesn't go across her face because she's a very pretty lady. The cover is made of cardstock. This is 110-pound cardstock, and it's lined with another piece of cardstock, and I'm not sure if this is 110 or not, but it's very nice, heavyweight, and this is on the 110. And I may have a little bit of gesso on me or other odd things. I was trying to thin my gesso, and I found out it really sticks to you. Okay, a pretty piece of lace here on the bottom, and the back is just plain. I just left it plain. It measures 6 inches wide and 8 1/4 inches tall. There's 100 pages if you count the front and the back of each and every page, and like this is a page, so there's 25, I guess you could say, double pages or half pages, if everyone understands that. Some of the new ones may not completely understand, but it takes 25 of these double pages to make 50 pages, and then you count each side and you've got 100. So that's how that works. I've got a pocket here in the front, a big pocket, and I've got one of the little journaling notebooks here in the front, and a ticket that I've made, and tried to get some of this sort of reddish color. Did the best I could with what I have. A little lace here on the bottom, and this pretty lady in an arch. And Gothic goes back to architecture, and that's really the Gothic architecture is absolutely beautiful, and it is used in so many of the cathedrals and castles, I guess you could say, in Europe, England, and that part of the country. We don't really have anything here in the U.S. that's probably as old as those cathedrals. So you in the U.K. are lucky in that way. You have a lot more architectural things than we do. I've put lines on the back of all the pages of the kit. And I have a few odd pieces of paper in here that I got at a garage sale, or yes, it was a garage sale. Okay, this is another of the journaling cards. And behind it, I've got a piece of architecture that I found, that it's a cathedral in France, I believe, but I'm not positive it's Gothic, but I think it is. I think it would be considered Gothic because of the way the windows are topped with these I don't know what you would want to call those. But anyway, I think it's a Gothic cathedral, and I thought it was an interesting, and you can write on the back of it, make some notes. I learned a little bit making this. This is a coffee dyed papers, some lace across the bottom, and a little stamping. And this is just cardstock with some lace. And this is an actual photograph of a, I don't know whether it's a cemetery or a graveyard. As I explained in the Halloween, there is a difference. If it's a cemetery, it is not next to a church. If it's a graveyard, it is next to a church. But I think this is just a cemetery. But anyway, it is a actual photograph of a cemetery, but I don't know what cemetery. One of the ladies shared it with us quite a long time ago on the Facebook group. I believe it was on Junk Journal Junkies chat group. Another nice card to journal on, and a lined card you can journal on. And this is a statue, and she seems to be crying blood, and it seems to be an angel, and very dark, and it's lined in the back. A book page, I put a little rickrack on it, a nice dark tag. And this lady is carrying a candelabra, so I thought it only appropriate that I use my little candelabra die. And I put a little blood up here just to keep us in the mood of a little on the dark side. Let's put it that way. She's very pretty and has a very pretty dress on and an absolutely gorgeous brooch. And maybe she's wandering the halls of a church or museum or a haunted house. Who knows? A piece of music paper. I wish I knew where I could find this particular die cut. It was one that was in my assorted things that I acquired at that garage sale. Here we have a person who's kind of half here and half not. He's half skeleton and half person. So I guess he hasn't quite crossed over yet, if that's a thing. But it's a place for you to write or journal. And this tag is also, you can journal on the back of the tag. And this I just thought might be somewhat appropriate for an architect or someone who was building these beautiful cathedrals and such. There was a lot that went into them, and this is just like compasses and directions, but all that would have been taken into account when they were laying it out. And this is just a piece of my clock die that was left over, and so I put it on there. Just time. This is a ticket that's in the kit. This is a card that I made, and it just has sort of a, to me, somewhat of a Gothic looking design on it, and I thought it was appropriate. It's one of those 6x6 pads of cardstock. And here's a gentleman. He's dark, but it's only because it's raining, I suppose, but nonetheless, he sort of fit into my thinking. Another pretty lady, and she seems to be behind some scroll work and framed in a very pretty gold frame. This is all part of this is a kit page. And here's another part of that page with all the directions and the compasses and so forth on it. And another nice journaling little booklet. And some of my old art paper and a tag. And this is a page from the kit. with lines on the back. And here's some more of the starry black paper. And I put a journaling card on the back of it, but since it's glued down, I put a little extra paper in behind it, so you still have a little bit of room to journal. And here is the Tim Holtz little ticket holder. I gathered up some burgundy type fabric, dark red, put a little bit of rickrack on it, and filled it up with some of the tickets and things that is in a kit that, it's a kit, I guess. It's different things that you can download from the ARTYmaze. These aren't freebies. This is something that you buy as a kit, these tickets and everything. Another page from the kit. A little more stamping. And I put a little rose on this, and it has another journaling card. And I don't know what all these things are. There seems to be the twins and a skeleton and some palms here. And this almost looks like a joker up here. He's jumping up and down in the air. I really don't know what all the meaning of that is, but it's very colorful and fits right in. And this is another actual ticket shape that's in the kit. Gothic Glam is what Andrea calls it. Another page from the kit. This is a book page, and I've splattered a little fake blood on there. Although I did shed some blood making this, but we won't go into that. There's a ticket, and this is a map that I got from My Porch Prints, I believe it's called. And this is the South Atlantic Ocean. The South Atlantic. Well, I can't even say it, Atlantic. Anyway, that's just, you can write on that. Some more journaling. A little rickrack on the bottom. This is very old graph paper and part of the kit. This is just one signature sewn in with a 3-hole pamphlet stitch. And this is that pretty lady, and I put her and made her into a pocket here where you can pull out a nice big piece of paper and you can journal on that. So that's a good, complete, full piece of paper. And I hope I'm staying in frame. Well, we may have to just leave it and do it later. These are kind of faint, but these are skulls, and that's part of the kit. And here's some of that beautiful architecture that I was talking about. These ceilings are just amazing. It's mind-boggling to me. A little doily and a little bit of that paper I put over the top. Another ticket. This is the center of the signature. And I have to say to beginners that I put in 25 pages into one signature, and I don't advise that for people who are just starting. That's quite a few pages. Anyway, here's a couple of little keys, and this says spells and potions. And that's the center. This was just an interesting envelope with a scorpion on it, and it says poison. And over here it says Halloween. And another of the tags. And this is a tag that I made, and I put a little bit of a collage type thing on it. And this is just a piece of paper it's cardstock, and you could write on it. And this is one of those pockets, and I don't really mind taking it apart, but I don't know whether I'm actually using it correctly. But this is the one that comes from Woods, I believe is her last name. Anyway, you could journal a lot inside here and fold it up, and you've got your secrets all nice and hidden. But this is kind of confusing to me, whether or not I'm doing is, you know, because it does slip through if you don't do it right. So that was my first attempt to put it in a journal. Some more of this pretty paper with the roses on it. This is one of my fakey glassine, or no, maybe this is a glassine envelope. Sometimes I make fakey ones, but I think this is an actual glassine envelope. And I just dyed this guest check. It's not been embellished on. And this is a copy of one of my very, very old greeting, like a postcard that I've inherited, and they belonged, they were sent back and forth by my grandparents. And so they're quite old. And I just make copies of them because I don't want to get rid of them. And some more, it's on that graph paper. And here's that lady again, only this time she's got her own thing going here. And it's very different. And here's another piece of paper that you can journal on, and I've put a little piece on there so it's easy enough to pull out. This is another one of those lovely skeleton guys with all the roses, and here's some more lined paper that you can use to journal on. And I just put secrets on here because I'm sure there are secrets somewhere that need to be written down. A belly band, and on here is a serpent, and I looked at this and I do not understand it at all. There's all kinds of like moons or something interspersed inside the serpent, but he's got two heads, one here and one here. There doesn't seem to be an end, so I guess he's eternal or something. A tag I made, you are something magical. And this is another card I've attached to the paper. And I put a little notebook inside, and I put notes on it there, and you can journal inside here. And I just machine stitched that one. I even left a little bit of threads, which is not me, but I did it. And this is the other side of that page. And as we get into the latter part of the journal, this is the other half of that compass. And here's quadrants, second quadrant, first quadrant, so forth. And I just put a nice little piece of black paper in here that you could attach a picture to or something. And I didn't put anything on it. It's there to be used. Some pretty roses, part of the kit. Another doily. And it has a ticket, and all of this that's on the ticket is beyond me. Don't know. Someone's been planting handprints on the music page. I've got lace on some of these pages. This is old I don't even know how old it is, but it's been around quite a while. Some more splatters of blood. A few more on this side. And some more really pretty roses. And now this is the lady, and she's half here and half not. She's half skeleton and half person. That's strange. And here's our lady again. She's very pretty. She has very pretty eyes. And here's another card tag that I made from that cardstock. And another tag type thing that I've made. I haven't really made it into a tag. I just printed on it, and you could, it's made from a file folder, and I just left the top like it is. And you could journal on the back of that. And a little collage here. And my candelabra. Chandelier, I guess we should say. This is a picture of an actual place too, and I do not know where it is. Maybe somebody does, but I don't. And another card that you can journal on the back, and a little bit more of that paper. And here's why I put that in there, because here's one right here in this nice arch and these trees in the background. And I think that's a crow, not a raven. And a little more, another piece of black to put a picture or something on. And I just put "This book belongs to" on this large tag. And that is it, ladies and gents. And I hope you enjoyed it. It was fun, and so many questions that I really don't have answers for. But it was a bit of a learning experience. And I thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.